Hey, I'm Joel, and until I come up with a better name, this is the Joel A Podcast. You're about to watch a clip of my live stream, which is on from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, I release clips throughout the week, so in case you can't make it to the live, you can watch those. And if you're in a charitable mood, a share, maybe even a subscribe, would do wonders for my new channel. I know your time is valuable, and I really do appreciate you giving me a few minutes of your day. Without further ado, here's the video. I hope you like it, and I'll see you again soon. Here, let me show you this here. This is what the problem is with society right now. I don't know if you saw this Fatima, I think. And well, check this out.
And so I'm here to celebrate who and what we are, who you are. Like many of you, I chose CUNY School of Law for its articulated mission to be law in the service of human needs. One of very few legal institutions created to recognize that the law is a manifestation of white supremacy that continues to oppress and suppress people in this nation and around the world. We joined this institution.
Okay. Fatima, I was watching this a little before, and she seems like a nice person. Like a genuine person. There was a moment where I guess her mom started crying in the audience and she got emotional. We all come from the same place. We all want the same things. We want the best for our families. We want the best for our loved ones, for the people around us. But our education system right now is totally out of whack. I mean, most of these people, I've lived in another country. I've lived in Mexico. I know what it is. And believe me, I think you need to do it at least just so you can appreciate the United States. So you can appreciate all the benefits and the liberty of living in this country. And it's noble. You get into law because you want to help people. I bet most, Democrats and Republicans, I bet most politicians try to get into government, with noble intent. They want to make the world a better place. But then they get into the system, which I think this happened to her, where you think law is racist. We always look at the symptom and not the cause. I'm a minority, I guess, even though there's probably going to be more of us in the United States than anything else in the next few years. I'm Hispanic, first generation US born. I guess I was lucky that we weren't taught that we were victims. There's been a couple of times when I've bumped into racism. One time, and I did a video about this, one time it kept me from renting an apartment. And it wasn't white people being racist. It was a Filipino area of town. And when I went to get an application to rent the apartment, the manager wouldn't give me an application. Now, there was a sign outside that said there were apartments for rent. But apparently there was none for non-Filipino people. And that's just ignorance. Yes, it bothered me. It upset me to a point, but it didn't stop me. I wasn't forced to live out on the street. Systemic racism, it's not a real thing, at least not to the point where it's going to affect your life. At least not to the point where it's going to keep you from succeeding, keep you from moving forward. She's going to be a lawyer. She's going to be one of the highest earning people in the country. She's going to be the one percenter she probably hates. Many of us think, or many of you think, that, not you, many other people, we're the smart ones, the educated ones. Many people think that the millionaires or now the billionaires are the 1%, but no, probably a lot of you are probably 1%ers. I think it's 250,000 or not even that, maybe even less than 200,000. If you make that much per year, you're in the 1%. I think on average, people make around $35,000 to $40,000 a year in the US. So, you're the 1%er. Anyway, back to the point. I'm sure that she wants to make the world a better place, as cliche as that sounds. But the schools are teaching people just wrong. And I bet even a lot of these professors now, and that's what happens. You get people at the top that say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Or maybe they suffered a traumatic incident where somebody was super racist to them, and they developed a complex, and so now they started teaching someone else, and someone else learned it, and someone else learned it, and someone else learned it, and now you have an army of future leaders that hate this country. They think the law is racist. They think it's racist to ask people to be responsible for themselves. They think it's racist to ask people to account for their actions, atone for their actions, even. And it's not like that. I was about to say justice is blind, but it's not, unfortunately. But the cause of these things isn't the system; it's our culture. As a Mexican American, I mean, I consider myself American. I lived in Mexico. Growing up in the U.S., it was a culture shock. I speak the language so I can get along with the people. And like I said, we're all the same. And on a one-to-one basis, you can get along with anyone. But as far as culturally, I do feel, and I did feel out of place a lot because my culture is American. I identify as an American. And that's the problem. These people don't identify as Americans. They identify as whatever heritage is. They don't identify themselves as American, even though they were born here. Because culturally, I don't know if she's first generation or not, but you have all those things that made this country great, that make this country great, the melting pot, that give you so much variety in food and music and clothing, all those great things. You're turning them on their head. They're turning them into something evil when it's not. It's something that made this country great and continues to make this country great, despite what they think. But that's the problem. Now we're going to have all these future leaders, lawyers, especially social media influencers and programmers and moderators that are turning this country on its head. They're attacking our culture. And it kind of leads me to my next point, where I've always said, if they keep this up, these companies, these institutions, these schools, they're going to wake up a sleeping giant. In fact, they've already begun. Take a look at Bud Light. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like it and subscribe it, share it with your friends. And, if you want to support me, watch it. Watch it when it's recorded, watch it when it's live. And let's grow this channel. I promise that we're going to invest time and whatever pennies I can into bettering the quality of this stream, of this podcast. I appreciate it, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.